sovereign platform group of companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You are watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Remember that the Nifty continues with its consolidation above the 21,000 mark, and every dip is also being bought into, indicating that the uptrend is still intact. Now, what should be your investment strategy as we step into the last 10 days of 2023? We will tell you all of it, but first up, the top headlines this hour. Stocks are likely to remain in a narrow consolidating range with an upward bias on Wednesday as strong overseas cues help local bulls in negotiating mild profit booking on Dalal Street. Extreme caution is advised on cash stocks as many sectors and stocks appear overheated on technical and trading parameters. Your stop losses are your best friends. Morning, Shail.
A very warm welcome to you, Sakshi, and to all of us who are watching us on Market today. We have a fairly strong uptick coming from overseas markets, Sakshi, and those overseas cues are fairly strong. The aftermath of rate cuts which are in the pipeline as far as the US markets are concerned, they are being felt across the world, and you can see that in a very strong close on Wall Street. Dow Jones again at a record high, a strong Asia, and of course the GIFT Nifty pointing to an 80-point uptick. What's interesting, Sakshi, is that we are having mild consolidating to corrective waves in the Nifty, but they are intraday, which basically means Nifty falls 120, 140 points intraday, and then that dip is recouped. So that is something to be looked forward to. Of course, the index closed at a record high yesterday, 21,453. It briefly went over 21,500 as well, but from then on there was a mild downtick and 34 points higher on the Nifty, 21,453. What's also interesting is that it's the FMCG and the energy stocks which have picked up the baton from banks and IT earlier. So these are the stocks that are driving up the index, chiefly NTPC, chiefly Coal India, Hindustan Unilever, ITC, Nestle, Tata Consumer within the Nifty space. If you look at the Nifty options chain, very strong bout of short covering happening within the ITM calls of Nifty, and a strong support is seen at 21,450, 21,400, 350. And of course, our most immediate medium-term target actually remains 22,000 points on the charts as far as Nifty is concerned. And any intraday dip is an opportunity to add Nifty ETFs for long-term traders and investors who want to punt on the Nifty. While, Sakshi, I say this, it is our bounden duty to mention all the warning signals that are coming from the market. Of course, it is all very good. Of course, overseas cues are strong, domestic liquidity is very good. But the fact is that there are warning signs right in front of us, Sakshi. We choose to ignore them at our own peril. A large number of QIPs, which is promoters selling shares in their business either to raise funds or to fund future expansion, are in the pipeline. There is Astral Pipe, there is a stock sale happening on pre-call. So these are the kind of warning signs that are there, and of course the IPO markets and unrestricted how should I say, trading gains coming in small and mid cap stocks. So these are all warning signs. As you very rightly said, stop loss is your best friend. Please keep it very close to the current market price and ride with extreme caution. Sakshi.
Absolutely, Shail. Now, what we also witnessed is that the Nifty for the Nifty to continue to gain above 21,500 mark, the record level that it touched yesterday. The lack of support coming in from banking stocks over the last two trading sessions is also preventing the Nifty to cross that mark sustainably as well. On Tuesday, we did see the banking Nifty index remaining nearly unchanged from Monday's levels as well. So it's the weekly options expiry for the Nifty Bank today. How would you expect this index to pan out today?
Yes. Yes, actually, as you rightly said, two almost sideways to down days on the Bank Nifty, and today it being Wednesday, it's the weekly expiry for this particular index. But what is good is a very strong demand coming in on stocks within the PSU basket. So you have Central Bank, you have Bank of India, you have Indian Overseas Bank, Canara Bank, BOB. The list is practically endless. The PSU banking index was amongst the top gainers yesterday. So that is a support, underlying support for the Bank Nifty. As also top two corporate banks, Axis Bank and ICICI Bank are at record highs. IndusInd is clicking. The only missing puzzle is pieces in the puzzle are Kotak Bank, which has been missing in action for 3 years, and of course HDFC Bank. So underlying strength is there in Bank Nifty, and as you know very rightly, more than 7.2% gains in Bank Nifty so far in December's FNO expiry. Again, the target remains in the medium term at 50,000. That's seen on technical charts. So 50,000 for the Bank Nifty, 22,000 for the Nifty, and all dips are to be accumulated, whether it's intraday or on a daily basis. Daily basis में Sakshi dip आ नहीं रहा. Yesterday I was writing this somewhere. Somebody really big in the universe of picking up stocks was talking to me, and he said a wonderful line. Consolidation Nifty को जीने नहीं देगी और Reliance Nifty को मरने नहीं देगा. So that's what is happening in the market. Some stocks are being used to sort of balance the profit booking that's happening on the Nifty. And of course, RIL is one of them, Sakshi.
Right, absolutely. But then, of course, it was only RIL that was managing to step up to prevent the Nifty to fall below, key support levels as well yesterday. But barring RIL, there was no other heavyweight counter that really lends that support to Nifty. But in the FNO space, really, Shail, what are the stocks that you would be watching out for today?
So Sakshi, FNO is rising on the lack of again liquidity. There are so many shares that are in the ban. I just shared that list with you, and look at how they've moved. Delta Corp was amongst the top 5 gainers. IRCTC, the less said the better. What a fantastic rally this one has seen. National Aluminium, Steel Authority, Manappuram Finance. These are all stocks which are again low ticket, high beta. So these are the ones that are rising. They are part of the ban. So you can at best exit your long position. You can't add a fresh one. So that is happening. I'm so sorry. You can square off your long position. You can't add a fresh one, which basically means that the momentum is likely to continue on these particular stocks. But if you honestly ask me, it's the FMCG pack. I would look at Hindustan Unilever and ITC. It's the energy space. Again, NTPC, the likes of Tata Power are the ones that are setting the screens aflame. So these are the dips that are most likely to be purchased. It's almost astonishing if you look at how Hindustan Unilever is there, Sakshi, a record high on almost all major stocks on the Nifty. And here is Hindustan Unilever trading below 200 DMA. So these are the pockets of safety which can be sort of purchased. You remember just 1 week ago we were talking about TCS and Infosys as if the world has collapsed. Now look at them, how the IT index has moved, right? Similarly, you will see ITC and Hindustan Unilever regaining their lost glory. I in my mind in this blue run, in this fantastic blue run, bull run, you will see Nifty hitting a record. You will see Hindustan Unilever also hitting a record high. Its time will come. but it has started.
ओके एफएमसीजी स्टॉक्स का भी टाइम आएगा, देखते हैं कितनी जल्दी आ जाता है वो भी. फिलहाल लेट्स गो बैक टू द ग्लोबल क्यूज एंड सी दे आर lending their support today. Strong US market action continued overnight. The Dow Jones was up for the ninth straight session. Nasdaq 100 and blue chip Dow Jones Industrial Average also set all-time highs on Tuesday, while the S&P 500 added about 0.6% in trade, and that's also fast approaching the record levels as well. Of course, tech stocks were in focus as Accenture maintained that discretionary spend will continue to remain muted in FY24. It's also maintained its FY24 revenue growth guidance at a muted 2.2 to 5% as well. So that's going to be, definitely going to be under watch as far as the IT space is concerned. All the three indices up about 0.6% each in yesterday's trading session: Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P. Now, stocks in the Asian markets, they also gained after Wall Street extended its rally on Tuesday, with the traders shrugging off warnings from policymakers trying to rein in expectations for the Federal Reserve rate cuts as well. Trends in the gift Nifty, just like how Shail pointed out, it's indicating a positive start to the Indian markets, and that's something that's going to be watched out for. As far as the foreign investors' flows are concerned, they are thinning out as the festive season has begun. The DIS bought about 294 odd crore rupees in yesterday's trading session. FIS sold about 601 crore rupees in cash stocks as well. Now, when we talk about some of the stocks that we need to watch out for, of course, in the primary market, there will be an action to be watched out for, especially on DOMS Industries, the IPO which got subscribed over 99.3 times. And of course, in 2023, if you see the number of IPOs that have come up, very few of them have managed to gain about 99 or 100 times subscription. Maybe it was Utkarsh Small Finance Bank and one or two other names that was higher than this. But definitely in a 1,000 crore rupees and above that kind of an IPO, it was DOMS that garnered the maximum oversubscription. So let's see if there could be a bumper listing today, and we'll be watching out for that at 10 a.m. Apart from this, ID stocks, like I mentioned, Accenture has reported the US dollar revenue growth guidance of 3% and 1% in constant currency, maintained the growth outlook between 2 and 5%. So the entire IT pack will be in focus. JK Tyre, that's launched a QIP to raise funds. Floor price of 358 rupees is a 5.2% discount from Tuesday's closing price as well. Varun Beverages, that's going to be in focus. The company is going to be acquiring beverage company in South Africa for 1320 odd crore rupees. It's also signed an MOU in Jharkhand with the government to set up manufacturing plant with an outflow of 450 odd crore rupees as well. From the oil and gas space, I'm keeping a watch on BPCL. That's going to be set up a propylene unit project in Kochi refinery at a cost of 5,044 crores. UPL is going to be in focus. The board is going to be meeting on December 22nd to consider fundraising. RVNL from the railways pack is going to be in focus again. Remember, yesterday a lot of experts were talking about this as their top picks, including Dharmesh Kant. Here the news flow is that the company has emerged as the lowest bidder for Varkala Shivagiri station in Kerala, and the project cost of 124 crore rupees is something that we'll be watching out for. All right, I think we have our guest with us. Gaurang Shah is with us on this edition. He's the Senior Vice President of Geojit Financial. Gaurang, very good morning to you. It's always a pleasure to host you on Business Today television. And, you know, just the last 9 to 10 days remaining for 2023. Tell us, what is the feeling that you have about the markets? We've seen record high levels continuing even up until yesterday.
Well, good morning, Swati and Suprabhat, Sakshi and Suprabhat, to all of y'all. Morning to all of y'all, including my good friend Shail. And I think I'm seeing you, Sakshi, after a long time. Good to see you back in studio. So I think few days left, and virtually...
I think, Gaurang, you need to unmute yourself.
I am unmuted, Shail. I don't know if there is something wrong at your end. I am not on mute.
I can hear you, Gaurang. Yes,
Yeah,
please
okay,
continue.
okay. So I think possibly another 11 days left, 12 days left for this year to go by, and it has gone off well given the kind of returns that we made on the Sensex and Nifty. On stock specific, we made much better than what the index has delivered. And going by the data points that have emerged, and of course the policy decision both by the domestic central bank as well as central bank across the globe, flows will come in thick and thin. And I still remember I think it was about 1.5, 2 months back when my good friend Shell was worried about the markets. And in this show itself, I had mentioned it to Shell that this market is going to surprise all of us on the upside. And I'm sure it has definitely done that. And I think we've seen the good. Best is yet to be seen. Uh, Given the kind of run up, Sakshi, I think intermediate corrections cannot be ruled out. But all those dips are going to be buying opportunities. We'll have the curtain raiser for the third quarter earnings possibly by second week of Jan 2024, followed up by an interim budget. Don't expect much. Then followed up by a big event, general election. So you are going to see markets going through a little bit of choppiness during these times. But as I mentioned, all opportunities to buy in any kind of dips.
Good morning, Gaurang, and what a pleasure to welcome you after. I think you've been absent for almost more than a month. आपके दर्शन नहीं हुए. मतलब इतना बढ़िया आपका नाम है, आपके दर्शन होते हैं, लगता है प्रभु आके मिल लिए. इससे बढ़िया और क्या हो सकता है? And I must compliment Gaurang for any worries that I had on behalf of our viewers and investors as to the dip in the markets. It was Gaurang who always said, don't worry about the short-term fluctuations. Look ahead and look up. And when you look up, you see Nifty at 21,450. And remember, 21,500 was there yesterday. And he still maintains that bullish stance, of course, with the minor corrections on way. So गौरांग भाई, अब ये बताइए यहाँ से क्या करना है. 21,500 आपके अलमारी में है और 48,000 बैंक निफ्टी पर अलमारी में है. सब कुछ बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है. IT index is now shouting from its rooftops that a fresh high is coming. What looks good to you at these levels which can be added?
तो शैल भाई, मुलाकात इसलिए नहीं हुई थी क्योंकि हम पहले तो छुट्टी पर थे. ब्लॉक लीव लेना अनिवार्य था क्योंकि दिसंबर के पहले वो सब क्लियर करना था हमें. नए वर्ष में छुट्टी पर चले जाएंगे तो हमारे बॉस भी थोड़े बहुत नाराज हो जाएंगे और आप भी हमारे बॉस हैं, आप भी नाराज हो जाएंगे. तो छुट्टी लेना जरूरी था, अनिवार्य था. छुट्टी ले ली थी. फिर एक हफ्ता मेरे ख्याल से कुछ शो में परिवर्तन हुआ था, ऐसा स्वाति ने बताया था मुझे, इसलिए हम आपके साथ जुड़ नहीं पाए थे. और बाजार को लेकर के राय हमेशा सकारात्मक रही है, पॉजिटिव ऑन द मार्केट्स विथ लिटिल बिट ऑफ डिप्स. व्हाट टू बाय, क्या लेना है इस बाजार में. तो शैल भाई, हमें लग रहा है कि वित्तीय क्षेत्र, बैंकिंग सेक्टर, एनबीएफसीज मजबूत, राष्ट्रीय स्तर की बैंकें जैसे कि स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया जिसने एक बहुत शानदार ब्रेकआउट दिया और सर्वोच्चम स्तर के आसपास खड़ा है, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, भारतीय स्टेट बैंक. इसके पश्चात और एक मझौली बैंक आप कह सकते हैं, कैनरा बैंक, ये पसंद आता है. ये भी करीबन 425 या 30 के आसपास था कल जब नजर पड़ी थी. ये अच्छा लगता है. निजी क्षेत्र की कम उमन किसी भी बैंक को आप पसंद कर सकते हैं. वित्तीय क्षेत्र एनबीएफसीज में माइक्रो फाइनेंस, हाउसिंग फाइनेंस और डाइवर्सिफाइड फाइनेंशियल कंपनीज, श्रीराम चोला है, L&T फाइनेंस एंड होल्डिंग है, बजाज फाइनेंस जैसी कंपनी अच्छी लगती है. तो ये हो गया एक आपका वित्तीय क्षेत्र. इसके पश्चात रक्षा, डिफेंस, रेलवे से जुड़े स्टॉक, ऊर्जा उत्पादन, ऊर्जा वितरीकरण यानी कि पावर जनरेशन, पावर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, ट्रांसमिशन एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड पावर इक्विपमेंट्स, ऊर्जा उपकरण बनाने वाली कंपनियां अच्छी लगती है. ऑटो हमारा अनुमान है, जिस प्रकार से सरकार की नीति रही है और आने वाले भविष्य में अगर हमारा देश, इफ आवर कंट्री बिकम्स द सेंट्रल हब for automobile manufacturing and outsourcing to the world, rest of the world, our sense is that the auto sector along with auto ancillary will do well. Cement and metal. So in and all, I think this is the universe of about 6 or 7 sectors which we are extremely positive on, keeping in mind the earnings not only for this financial year but even coming forward, going forward next financial year and possibly many more years to come. So I guess इस क्षेत्र में आपको दिग्गजों पर ध्यान रख के थोड़े बहुत मझौले क्षेत्र के शेयर्स भी निवेश लायक रणनीति बना दीजिए.
Okay. Gaurang, 2023 is now in the bag and we have something like 19% uptick on the Nifty so far, another 5-7 days left. Let's presume markets shut shop today. Now, what ahead for 2024? What are you looking forward to in terms of macro, and how do you think that will reflect on the markets? Where are we headed for 2024?
So firstly, I think on the markets in the near term, let me give you a feeler as to what we feel. And in fact, on Monday, we had given out our market outlook for the week, and we had mentioned over there that the lower side bottom stands at about 21,300, 21,350. And if we are able to scale beyond 21,450, 21,500 decisively, especially 21,500, if we are able to cross over that and give a close above those levels, then I think another 100, 200 points on the Nifty are in the bag, indicating that we would possibly see levels of 21,600, 21,700. What we see going forward for the year 2024, if you ask me returns in terms of index, Sensex and Nifty, Michelle, I am always a conservative guy. I give you a very conservative number, and I tend to overachieve that by the time that time comes. So our sense is that given the fact that we have done almost 19%, maybe remainder might see a little bit more uptick of up to 3%. Expect anywhere between 12 to 15% return on the index, Sensex and Nifty for the next calendar or to possibly December 24. And sector and stock specific, you can expect at least 18 to 20% given the earning visibility and the possibility of re-rating of sectors and stocks therein, depending upon how the earnings unfold. A couple of factors to remain cautious. Of course, like I mentioned, if earnings are delivered, Shell, there is nothing stopping the market. That's what I believe in as far as the fundamental is concerned. Budget, virtually, I don't think it's going to be a great event because it's going to be an on account. So maybe some formalities will be done through by the Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji. And of course, outcome of election, general election. I think these are the factors which will be keenly watched forward for. What we don't know of, any kind of geopolitical or natural calamity unfolding may impact the market in terms of returns. So that is where you need to be cautious.
Okay. Gaurang, I wanted to understand from you, for a fresh investor who may be looking to invest afresh in 2024, what is going to be the mantra of investing? How would you advise that person to start investing? Of course, you pointed out that it's going to be an events-heavy year, starting with the two budgets. Of course, we will be having two general elections of two biggest democracies in the world. How would you expect investors to deploy their funds, the mantra of investing?
So Sakshi, first of all, I think if you're coming at 21,000 plus on the Nifty and 71,000 or thereabouts on the Sensex, one first mantra that you have to make yourself understand and accept is that there is going to be elevated risk, given the kind of recovery that we've seen. If you are not understanding the markets, I think the best way to create wealth in this kind of a situation is go through mutual fund SIP route. And that has been one of the, I always say that SIP is the eighth wonder of the world. And it does magic whereas comes to compounding is concerned. So if you don't know much about markets, if you don't have the time to give it, understand, study and then deploy, then I think SIP mutual fund or a lump sum is also not something that I would not advise. You can do a lump sum investment as also. If you are able to do your studies with the market and if you have the elevated risk appetite, my sense is that stick with the large caps because that's where you will derive comfort. And even if you look at performance wise compared to the mid and the small cap, I think we have yet to do a little bit of more catch up as far as the large cap index and large cap stocks are concerned. So select large cap will be the first destination. And once you are done with that, select mid caps depending upon sectors, and the sectors which I just mentioned, about 6-7 sectors. I think a mix of large and mid cap in these 6 or 7 sectors would possibly give you a very decent portfolio in terms of next 3 to 5 years investment horizon.
Okay, that's a fair advice to have. What we'll do, Gaurang, is take a very, very short break right here. And when we return, we will discuss with you more sectors and stocks and also the pre-opening action that will just kick in. Stay with us.
Arvind Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back. With us is Gaurang Shah, and you're on Markets Today at Business Today Television. We were discussing how the sentiment is on Dalal Street as far as 2024 is concerned. A voice of caution, Gaurang, from your side, if at all. The state of play in the market as far as IPOs are concerned, and of course now this pipeline of any number of QIPs that you can count. Is that pointing to an overheated segment in the market?
So firstly, Shail, I think we have coverage on Happy Forgings and Muthoot, FinCorp. 12 IPOs this week, if I'm not mistaken, put together, and about 7 or 8 listings, again, if I'm not wrong on the numbers. Not really worried about, if you were referring, Shell, to whether this may lead to liquidity being sucked out of the secondary market and pumped into the primary market, I don't think so, because in the recent past also we've had a glut of IPOs hitting the street, but the secondary market was intact and there was more than decent subscription as far as worthy IPOs are concerned. With these 12 IPOs, again, I don't think there's going to be any kind of liquidity crunch for the secondary market wherein liquidity is concerned. My only advice to your viewers and investors would be that please be extremely careful when it comes to investing in IPOs, because good businesses, fair valuation, and positive outlook from the management and the strong management will always do well from a longer period of time. Now, recently or over the last couple of years, Shell, people have got used to this bad habit of listing gains, ignoring the fact that over a longer period of time, you can make much better returns compared to what you would make on the listing gains. So these two recommendations that I've mentioned, Happy Forgings and Muthoot, is purely from a long-term point of view on the fundamental. And good IPOs. And the best part is, Shell, that now there is a lot of transparency with the regulator coming in terms of the quality of paper that hits the market. And I think there will be a lot more that needs to be done, and it will be done by the regulator. So I think for an investor, it is virtually, absolutely clear once you go through those prospectus and reports, etc. I think you are at a capability of making a decision whether to invest or not to invest. But again, be careful, be mindful of valuation, management, and what kind of business the company is.
Okay, we look at the pre-open rates, ladies and gentlemen. A fresh record high on the Nifty. Congratulations once again. And it's a century right at the beginning. The Nifty opens 100 points higher, 21,550. Now, what is driving this phenomenal rally? Of course, it's the banks. ICICI Bank 1.4% higher, 1,030. We have a strong view coming in on HDFC Bank as well, 0.3% higher. Let's look at the other index heavyweights, Reliance as well as Infosys. Reliance is flat at 2562. Infosys flat also at 1558. What's sticking? Like I mentioned, it's going to be FMCG. Hindustan Unilever 0.6% higher, 2577. Remember, one of those lone stocks with fabulous parentage within the Nifty, available around 200 DMA. ITC 459.20, 0.6% higher. The Nifty still 84 points higher, 21,539. A very quick look at the top gainers in the FNO space. HPCL 1.4% higher, 385.90. You have TVS Motors 1.3% higher, almost 2000. A strong move coming in on IDFC 1% higher at 127.90. A very quick detour to NSE 500. Varun Beverages, as Sakshi pointed out, a large transaction now happening, and this time in South Africa. The company has taken over some assets there. 20% higher, fresh record high, 1405. Just yesterday we were looking at sister concern Devyani International. They had purchased the KFC franchise in Thailand. The stock was up 5-6%, and today's the turn for Varun Beverages. Apart from that, fresh record high Oil India 352.5% higher. You have Soba Developers 1019, 2% higher. A strong move coming on IRFC, 3% higher, 103. So the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, there is no let up. Remember, today is the Bank Nifty's weekly expiry, and we have 21,545 from your side. Gaurang, some words of sympathy for bears?
I don't want to tell them, Shell, because they are the ones who give me stocks at a discount. Whenever there's, and I always love bears. And there's a good old saying, Shell, it takes two to tango. So I'm quite happy that they exist, and I love them.
Yes.
Okay, Gaurang, that's a wonderful take on bears as well. But let's now discuss, would you be looking to tango with the FMCG stocks and all those stocks that have not performed in 2023? Will they finally dance in 2024?
I'm sure they will, Sakshi. And honestly, Sakshi, you, me, Shell, all, common man on the street, individuals, we must be at least using in a day for our daily consumption, at least 5 to 10 products of these companies, not knowing that we are, doing it. And India was, is, and will always remain a consumption driven economy. This is what I strongly believe in. And there is no reason why uh, we should not focus on FMCG companies. Along with that, Sakshi, uh, almost any big name on the international arena wants to come and set up shop in India today. 140 crore population, 35% of that young, below the age of 30 and 28. A huge potential for FMCG companies. The only problem this time around was that we had an erratic monsoon. Uh, more than desired rains in some parts of the country, uh, average or deficit in some part of the country. Large part of our population is associated with agri activity, and whatever income comes from that agri produce that they have from their fields translates into their income and spendable capacity. This has taken a pause for a short term, but I don't think you can ignore these sector. I'm quite sure if Al Nino doesn't have to play a tantrum or a tandav or a spoil sport, we might have a decent monsoon for 2024. And of course, that will translate into earnings visibility. But already my sense is that the negativity of the second quarter earnings will be taking a backseat. Let me give a disclosure, Sakshi. There are almost about 7 to 8 companies in the FMCG universe on which we are positive on, starting with HUL, ITC, Dabur, Marico, Tata Consumer, Godrej Consumer, Imami, Nestle, Britannia. I think I would have spelt out all the names in our coverage. And I'm quite sure that volumes improvement will help top line, bottom line numbers, and margins as well. And most importantly, I think input cost is steadily coming down.
Okay, we'll focus on the FMCG pack a little later. Two deals I want to mark out. An 836 crore deal on Astral Pipes. It's a block of 44.23 lakh shares at 1890 rupees per share. Remember, this is pre-open. So this has happened. Shriram Pistons and Rings. This is a 241 crore transaction on the NSE. 2 lakh, it's 21 lakh 91,000 shares at 100 at 1100 rupees, 1100 3.6 rupees to be precise. Remember, auto ancillary is red hot. Yesterday you saw transaction on pre-call. The other stocks which are running up in this space are Minda Corp, Subros. So this is one sector that's red hot. To you, Gaurang, anything that catches your fancy in the auto ancillary space? Of course, you mentioned auto as a prime mover as far as the sectors are concerned, but what looks good to you in the suppliers to auto ancillaries?
There are a couple of names over here, and I don't see any reason, Shell, that if we are positive on autos, why you should not be positive on auto ancillary OEM, tire, battery manufacturing companies. They complement the auto sector. And I think with the renewed safety norms being put in place, there'll be more need of focusing on auto ancillary OEM segment. So we like Uno Minda, we like CIE Automotive, we like Amara Raja Battery, Excite Industries, almost all the companies in the tire manufacturing space, except for one name which has become a Lakh Takya stock, MRF. We don't have coverage over there. And of course, my sense is that, if we are going to push towards global manufacturing capacities in India, then I think there'll be more opportunities for auto ancillary names to do well.
Okay. Gaurang, apart from the FMCG space, the auto space that we have discussed, and we will continue to come back to them in the course of discussion, because I guess it's going to be an FMCG day. We're looking at all the stocks that are moving up in the pre-opening action. But what about the IT space now? Looking at what Accenture has predicted in terms of guidance now, how would you be looking at the entire bellwether IT space, the top IT counters now?
So, Sakshi, again, I think I was in conversation with Shell earlier in the shows. And as a brokerage house, we've been always positive on IT. Before the Fed decision, before the second quarter, first quarter earnings, even last year, we remained positive. Post all these events, we remain structurally very, very positive. Yes, there is some amount of feeler on the street that the essential numbers gives you a sense of wind and direction as to where the IT universe is going when it comes to earning visibility. But our understanding that is that there is tremendous amount of opportunity, potential, capability, capacity in place for Indian IT companies, not only to cater to the overseas market, but there is going to be a plethora of opportunities as far as the domestic market is concerned. And there are times, Sakshi, that some sectors and some companies within those sectors which go through a little bit of difficult time, keeping in mind the number of events in the backdrop, whether it is local or global. But you have to see the overall performance and from a longer perspective. And my sense is that, and I always mention this, Sakshi, and I would like to mention this on your show as well, that please, I would request investors that please keep 10 to 15% or maybe more allocation towards IT and banking and finance in your portfolio. I think this will do a very stable contribution over a longer period of time. As a matter of fact, to give you certain names, TCS, Infosys, HCL, Tech Mahindra, amongst the large cap names, we have a positive coverage. L&T Technologies, LTI, Mindtree, Coforge, KPIT Tech, Tata LXI, Science Limited. These are the mid-cap IT universe names that we are positive on.
Right, let's again look at pre-open rates. The Nifty settled 90 points higher, so a gap up of 90 at a fresh record high 21,543. Remember, a lot of gap ups are now sustained over 2 months ever since this rally started from the low of October 26th. We are now close to December 26th. So this quarter has been phenomenal. Now, will this be a trending day, which essentially means the Nifty opens gap up at a record high and then keeps on gathering pace and then again shut shops at a fresh higher record high? Only time will tell, but at the moment 543 on the Nifty means that it has taken out the first resistance, which is 21,526. So with that in mind, let's now again look at stocks which have gone ballistic in early trade as well. Oil India, fresh record high, 2.5%, 350. Remember, I'm talking about PSUs because this is where cash markets are concentrated. 2% up on IRFC, 102.20. RVNL 187.40, 2% higher. This is news driven. IREDA 114, 1.4% higher. Very quickly to you, Gaurang. We missed your presence on the listing of Indian Renewable Energy Development Authority. Your very quick view at 114. What should people do?
So, Shell, again, over here, unfortunately, I was not there, but we had a subscribe for the IPO from a long-term point of view. And I think there is a lot that needs to be delivered by this company, and I'm sure it will, given the kind of focus of renewable energy by the government of India, be it solar or wind. Hold it for the long term. And if you get dips, add or make fresh investments.
Right. तो लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लीजिए. आज भी आपको बहुत शानदार तेजी दिखने वाली है. 90 अंक ऊपर निफ्टी प्री ओपन में सेटल होता हुआ. अब देखते हैं किस तरीके की तेजी आपको आती हुई दिखेगी. टुडे इज द बेट ऑन energy and FMCG counters to push up the index higher. So NTPC has settled 1% higher, 312.25. Okay, markets have begun. It's a 90-point gap up, 21,537. A 160-point gap up on Nifty Bank at 48,000. Remember, today is the weekly expiry of Nifty Bank futures and options. The Nifty IT index starts with 0.5% gain, 180 points higher, and the Nifty 500 index again 0.5% higher. So the broader market is rising more than the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Now let's focus on stocks. Okay, the top gainer is Infosys, 0.87% higher, 1568 within the Nifty. What is Reliance doing? 0.6% higher, 2574. ICICI Bank 0.5% higher, 1021. Axis Bank is trading 0.3% higher, 1123. The entire 10 index heavyweight stocks are in the green. Sakshi, what is really interesting is that the advanced decline on the Nifty is 49:1. This is the biggest, this is the best advanced decline that you can have. Now the rally is gathering steam. 100 points higher, and Sakshi, it's unbelievable the pace that you see with stocks that are moving. Nestle 1% higher, fresh record high, 2574. Remember, this is the top gainer on the index. Coal India taking it away 0.5% higher, NTPC 1% higher, ONGC 0.65% higher, Tech Mahindra and BPCL in the green. Which is the loser? There are no losers on Nifty, all 50 shares in the green. So this rally will again gather steam. F&O very quickly, minus index heavyweights. Deepak Nitrite 2.65% higher, 2349. Voltas, India Cement, LTTS, Steel Authority, all in the green. Hind Copper 1.5% higher. Top losers. Sakshi, out of 180 stocks, there are only 5 losers, an unbelievable amount of gains coming in. India Bulls Housing Finance 2.7% lower, 222.30. Exactly Nifty 50. What's buzzing here? Okay, Varun Beverages, news driven, 15% higher, 1344, record high. IRFC 3.5% higher, 103.45. Voltas 924, 3% higher. Oil India 349, 2.2% higher. Devyani International 1.2% higher, 196.40. Mannapuram, JS, Jindal Stainless, CAMS, ICICI Securities, all 1122% higher. It's a blowout. So this is how, ladies and gentlemen, a trending day starts, a gap up, and the gap up accelerates. 110 points higher now, 21,563. Gaurang, your very quick comments on the Nifty.
of 21,500 if are able to sustain. I think the next destination should be 21,600, 21,700. Possibly over there we might revisit in terms of valuation and of course whether there is going to be any kind of small profit booking. And let me say this as well, the profit booking that I mentioned may turn out to be intraday. That means we might start lower like we saw last week if I'm not mistaken. I think Monday was a good day, Tuesday we corrected, Wednesday we corrected. By the time we closed the day, we recovered from beyond those levels of 20,850. So similar kind of patterns might be there, intraday corrections or maybe 1 or 2 odd days of correction. But like I mentioned, I think we are just preparing ourselves towards a very decent up move with some intermediate correction. And like I said, don't try and venture out to do something extraordinary if you don't know. Stay with the basic principles, and I think you can create wealth over a longer period of time.
Okay, let's welcome our other guest on the show. We have now Nilesh Jain with us, AVP Technical Research and Centrum Broking. Nilesh, welcome to the show. First up, your take on the Nifty call option on December 28 call at 21,500. What would you do here? Nilesh, could you unmute yourself? Yeah, please go ahead.
Right. A big gap up opening today. We have seen this is resembles a runaway gap, and we feel that the momentum is likely to extend further towards 21,650 to 21,700 on immediate basis. So yes, 21,500 call. The upside target for this particular strike comes around 130 to 160. Stop loss can be placed below 65. That's today's low. And the outlook continues to remain on a positive side, and there are many stocks from the index heavyweight that are moving and inching towards the all-time high levels. So yes, we believe that Nifty is likely to test 21,800 to 22,000 in the very near term.
Okay, I think let's look at the December 28th call, because tomorrow you will have the weekly expiry of the Nifty. We are trying to give a lot of space to options traders as well. That one's trading somewhere like 218 last I checked. It's at 220 now, up 56. Nevertheless, the trend remains the same. As far as Nilesh is concerned, he's looking at 21,800, and that's the best way to sort of look at the market at the moment. Yes, that's in front of you. Nilesh, very quickly, two stocks that look good on the technical charts. We really missed you in the pre-open market.
Right, sorry for the delay. So two stocks, number one, index heavyweight that we discussed in the previous week as well, that's Reliance Industries, and it is already up close to 3.5%, but I think it is near all-time high mark, and the next target for the Reliance Industries comes around 2620 to 2650. So still it can be bought at current level, keeping stop loss below 25.55. That would be the stop loss, and the upside is open for 2620 to 2650. And the another stock that we are liking is from chemical space, that RT Industries. Continuously we are witnessing a high top and high bottom formation. The stock is heading towards 630 on immediate basis. Stop loss can be placed below 602. So from chemical space, RT Industries and Reliance Industries from heavyweight are looking positive.
Okay,
let me just, Sakshi, allow me to just mark the stocks. This is going to be very strong, Sakshi, today for two reasons. Reliance is now on the move, 2590. Of course, Nilesh just mentioned IDFC has clicking in, and you'll just see the Nifty taking out its most recent high, which was 2150. That's because these two major index heavyweights are moving. I'd just like to also point out the broader markets. Just look at the advanced decline ratio. 1563 stocks in the green, 311 in the red. We track 19 indices, all 19 are in the green. The top gainer is the IT index, 1.35% higher, 35,826. Sakshi, everything is moving. Birla Soft, days high, L&T Mindtree. Why don't you just look at the IT stocks? I'll just get back to you.
Sure. Absolutely. A lot of IT names, like Shell said, that are moving now. And of course, they have shrugged away the, concerns raised by Accenture clearly. The Nifty IT now at 1.3%, the top moving sectoral index. Tech Mahindra is the top mover now at 1300, 1.5% higher in trade. The LTI Mindtree at 1.9% higher. Wipro 1.5% higher. TCS up by 1%. Infosys up by 1%. So, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 gainers, you will have all the IT names along with Reliance Industries right now. So it's the IT pack that's moving very, very sharply. Nilesh, your top pick from the IT pack.
Right, so the first one would be LTI Mindtree, a very strong chart pattern out here, and looks like stock is heading towards 6400 in the near term. Currently, it is trading near about 62.35. Stop loss should be placed at 6170. And another stock that we are liking is Wipro. After a long time, we have seen a consolidation breakout. So the consolidation was around 1.5 year, and now looks like it is heading towards 470 mark. Stop loss should be placed below 425.
Stop loss should be below 24. Okay, let's mark Tata Power. Let's see what's really happening in the entire power space that even Gaurang was mentioning a while earlier, that he's positive on the entire space. But let's look at Tata Power and how that stock is really moving in trade today. 343, 2.3% higher in trade as of now. And of course, the stock, it must be at these record levels yet again. It has been a very, very sharp mover on the exchanges for a long, long time. And 343.4 right now. Nilesh, what would be your next target on Tata Power?
So the structure is looking very strong for Tata Power, and if you look at the position target, that comes around 380. Immediate target from 1 or 2 days perspective, that comes around 355. Currently, it is trading at 343. Stop loss should be placed below today's low, that 336. The immediate target would be 355, followed by 370.
Okay. All right. One more stock, let me ask you, Nilesh, before Shell takes over, and that's the top mover in the Nifty 500 space. It's Equitas Small Finance Bank, 6% higher in trade today. A very, very sharp move coming in. Of course, it's a month high, it's a 6-month high, a 1-year high, year-to-date high. And it must be a record level as well for Equitas at 111. Your point of view on Equitas, Nilesh?
So Sakshi, a very good breakout can be seen. Looks like a flag and pole pattern breakout, and the upside target comes around 120. So another 10% move can be seen in Equitas Small Finance Bank on immediate basis, and position target comes around 135. So yes, can be bought at current level, although it's up 5%. So wait for some decline and buy in the range of 107 to 110. Stop loss should be placed below 105. Upside target 120 to 135.
Okay, this is how the structure is at the moment, and Sakshi, it's going to be a day belonging to the Tata Group. I'll tell you why. You've marked Tata Power. Now look at Voltas, 934 for you. A very good view on this one was given yesterday, and again, the first 4 or 5 minutes of trade means that Voltas has broken out. Nilesh, very quickly, what is Voltas chart telling you? Ladies and gentlemen, a fresh 2-year high on Voltas for you. Nilesh, very quickly, Voltas.
So it's a multi-year breakout candidate, and the upside target comes around 960 on immediate basis, followed by 1000 on positional point of view. Stop loss should be placed somewhere around 915. So if at all we see any decline, that would be a good opportunity. If somebody is already holding the long position, continue to stay put, keeping upside target of 960,000.
Okay, Gaurang, your very quick view on Tata Power.
You know, our patience with this particular stock has paid off, Share. If you recollect, once it crossed over 180, there was no stop. This particular stock went up to, I think, 280, 285. Then it started correcting, or maybe it crossed over 300 as well. And then it corrected, stayed at about 240, 230 for a pretty long period of time. And then once it took off those 280 levels, crossed over 300, the result is where it is today. Wouldn't be surprised to see it going towards 385, and possibly with the kind of, and I was listening to the commentary of the management with respect of the business outlook. And my sense is, Shell, that your fossil fuel power generation companies are slowly going to be history, and renewable energy, both solar as well as wind, along with hydel power. And the most important turnaround in the power generation sector is going to be green hydrogen. I think, and of course, this company is into charging stations as well. Solar panel business is doing extremely, extremely well, Shell, as far as North India is concerned, especially states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and UP, Bihar, including Punjab. They are doing phenomenally well in terms of solar business. So we would possibly look at targets, immediately midterm targets of about 385 to 400, and possibly on the earnings visibility and better than earning visibility, these targets would definitely get revised upwards.
Okay, Sakshi, another one from the Tata Group moving, which is Tata Chem. Let's get Nilesh's view in 1049 for you, and the good thing is it's just starting somewhere near 200 DMA. Your very quick take, Nilesh, on Tata Chemicals.
Right, sir. So today it has given a fresh breakout. So we did mention about the chemical space. Aarti is looking positive, and also Tata Chemical on the back of a fresh breakout. I think it is heading towards 1060 on intraday basis. And from a short-term point of view, the target comes around 1100. Stop loss should be placed somewhere near about today's low, that is 1033. So that should be the stop loss, and the upside target would be somewhere around 1060 to 1100.
Okay. 15 minutes when the markets have had opened. So now the markets are actually accelerating their pace. We are looking at everything that's moving very, very sharply. All the sectors into the green. The stocks as well. A very strong move coming in on all the Nifty stocks, barring 3 stocks. They're all up into the green as well. Gaurang, your view. What is propelling the markets even higher? Just when we were thinking that everything is baked in, now is the time for consolidation, for some sanity to prevail. We're again looking at record highs coming in. And, at this point in time, would you think that, all those concerns around overheating, valuations, where does all of that go?
No, this rally is not going to stop, Sakshi, till the last sucker is sucked in. Let me say it absolutely bluntly. And one of the important factors that I've been mentioning since this rally started, and I'll give you certain data points also, not very long ago. My good friend Shail was talking about October 26th or there, but as late as maybe about 50 days back, I'll give you the date and the levels as well. I think it was 2nd of November, and we were trading below 19,000 on the Nifty, 18,850 or 18,900. You might be having the chart to possibly clear that. And from 2nd of November to this particular date, 20th of December, 21,550 and beyond, I think we've done reasonably well. And I'll tell you what's driving this markets. I think it's going to be the crazy rush of FI money. And I always question their wisdom. You sell at 15,000, 18,000 Nifty, and you come and buy at 20,500, 21,500. I think wisdom speaks for itself, Shakshi. And the FOMO factor, that is fear of missing out, I think that is driving this rally. I would just advise a word of cautious that yes, exuberance is good, but over exuberance may hurt from a short to medium term point of view. I'm talking in terms of correction that I was referring to a while back when the program started. So just be careful if you're trading it from a short to medium term point of view. If you are a trader, if you have the risk appetite, my humble request would be to put your stop losses in the system.
Absolutely. And that is exactly what Sakshi began her conversation today morning with, which is the best friend that you have in this kind of a market is the stop loss. Apart from Sakshi, myself, Gaurang and Nilesh, we are also your good friends, but remember the stop loss is a bigger friend. And before I bid goodbye to Gaurang, I'd just like to thank him on behalf of all our viewers and investors. One person who has consistently said that this is a buy on dip market and a buy on hold market, which is you will make more money if you hold on to stocks. And there is no better example than JK Lakshmi Cement. Consistently, Gaurang has said, look at this mid-cap cement counter at the moment at 868 rupees, and from somewhere like 650 rupees on this channel, and in our earlier conversations around 300 to 400 rupees, Gaurang has always mentioned buy quality, hold quality, be a bull in India, and buy every dip. Thank you, Gaurang, for all those fantastic advices. And now we hope that you will be a regular every week. Remember, we had tied up on every Wednesday with you and Milene.
We'll look forward, Chels. Thank you so much for those kind words. Thanks, Sakshi, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gaurang.
Chaliye. We'll get back to the markets, ladies and gentlemen. 9:33 in front of you, and my enthusiasm will tell you that the markets are accelerating. Remember, I told you if it is a trending day, the market will open gap up, and from that gap up, it will continue to accelerate. Now we have 124 points on the Nifty, 21,578. I will very quickly look at what that option trade is doing. We are looking at 21,500 call, ladies and gentlemen, expiring on December 28th. We put it at 218 in front of you. Now it is at 235 and accelerating further. Sakshi, what are you watching?
A lot of counters that are moving up, Shell, in the Nifty 500 basket. ITI now up 5%, top mover. GMM Pfaudler 4.8% higher. Adani Energy is 4.5% higher. Deepak Nitrite, you already pointed out, in the top moving space, in the F&O space. Archean Chemicals is 3% higher. Delivery is moving up 3% higher. Dr. Lal PathLabs, they're all the stocks from various sectors, and they're all moving up in trade as well. Nilesh, let me come to you now. As far as the stocks in the chemical space and the fertilizer space is concerned, this is a space that has been buzzing off late. Deepak Nitrite for you, what would be your next target for this one, and any other stock that you would like to highlight from the fertilizer and chemical space too?
Right, so from chemical space, we did mention about Aarti Industries, Tata Chemical. Now coming to Deepak Nitrite, I think it's on the verge of a major breakout from its long consolidation that we saw of last one and a half year. So the resistance zone for Deepak Nitrite is somewhere around 2390. And looking at this structure, I feel that it is likely to take out that particular breakout level and move towards the 2500 mark. So yes, it can be bought at current level, keeping stop loss below 2320, and your immediate target would be 2450 followed by 2500. So apart from this particular space, the another space where we have seen a good attraction, that is Voltas. So at the during the show that we did mention the upside target of 960 to 980. So stock is still looking strong. It should not be missed, keeping stop loss below 925 now. So apart from Voltas, Havels is another counter that is looking very strong on the chart. Today we have seen a fresh OI addition of near about 3%, and it opened with a gap up, and the gap up area is now likely to provide some sort of support. Keep a stop loss below 1370. Upside is open for 1400 to 1420.
Right. Just like how Shell was saying that it is turning out to be a Tata day, TCS as the top mover on the Nifty index. Then you also have Tata Power, Voltas that we've discussed, Tata Chemicals moving up. And now Tata Consumer Products is also at a new high as well. Nilesh, would you look at Tata Consumer, and at 980.1, 1.5% higher, would you still buy this stock?
Absolutely, Sakshi. So yesterday we saw an outperformance in the FMCG space, and this was one of the counter that has outperformed yesterday. So looking at the overall structure, it is still looking strong for the upside target of 1020 to 1040. Stop loss should be placed below 965. Still, it can be bought at current level. The structure is looking very strong, and today it has hit a fresh all-time high mark. So yes, can be bought at current level and can be added on declines as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me mark a few stocks on the option side. Let's look at Tata Power. Now this is running away, 345, fresh record high. Let me just see what is the most interesting options trade on Tata Power. So this is right in front of you at 345. Okay, let's look at the 345 call. at 850 rupees for the moment, 8 rupees 50 paisa. Your very quick view on this one, Nilesh. How would you analyze the Tata Power 850 call? Remember, it was at 6 rupees in the morning. I just want to see what is the all-time high on this one. The all-time high is 12.71. Your very quick view on Nilesh, Tata Power 345 call.
So for December series, Tata Power, it looks like underlying is heading towards 355 to 360 zone. So yes, 345 call, which is currently in the range of 8.5 to 9, can be bought, keeping stop loss below today's low, that is somewhere around 6 rupees, and that should be the stop loss. The immediate target that comes around 12.5, followed by 15 rupees. So yes, it can be bought as a momentum trade for the upside target of 12.5 to 15. Keep a stop loss below 6 rupees.
Okay, so this is the view, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see a strong momentum coming in on Tata Power. Remember, the stock is already at record highs, and I'm seeing consistent block deals here. I'll tell you 65 lakhs, 2.63 crores, 2.9 crores, 77 crores, 3.10 crores. These are the blocks that have happened immediately, and much before that as well. I'll tell you an interesting data point here on Tata Power. When you look at the first 15-20 minutes of volume, it's okay, we've already done 71 lakh 77,000 shares, and that's how it is moving. Let me just give you an insight into this. Why this is important is you need to know it's amongst the volume buzzers as well. And when volume accompanies price, then that is the action that you see. Let me just highlight the BSE Power Index for you. Okay, it's already 33% of 5-day average, which is 7,73,000 shares. So that's the move coming in, 2.8% higher, 345 on Tata Power, fresh record high. And also on the move is BHEL. A very quick view on BHEL, 189 for you, Nilesh.
So structure is still looking strong in spite of the move that we saw. This has been the 6th consecutive week now for the bail, and the upside is still open for 200 sort of milestone that we might see in this particular counter, and the support now is placed somewhere around 180. So the risk and reward is not that much favorable, but I would suggest to wait for some decline to buy a fresh and keep a stop loss below 180. Upside target, immediate target, I would say that comes around 200, and the position target comes around 220.
All right. What we'll do is we'll take a very, very short break, Nilesh, and when we return, we will discuss more stocks. Meanwhile, all the viewers, keep an eye out on Canara Bank and Bank of Baroda. We'll discuss this when we come next. Both the stocks are inching up higher in trade, and also Can Bank is at record high levels again. We'll be back very shortly. Stay with us.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back. You're watching Market Today on Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi. With me, Shail Bhatnagar. Also with us is our special guest, Nilesh Jain from Centrum Broking. Markets at record levels, 121 points higher on the Nifty at 21,575 right now. Everything, all the cylinders of the markets are firing away. And right now, we'll just keep an eye out on the PSU banking stocks. Bank of Baroda for you, Nilesh, 228.6 at record levels. And Canara Bank as well at 448 odd levels. What would you do here?
So Sakshi, we are liking PSU banking space as a whole, and our preferred bet within this space would be State Bank of India for the upside target of 680 to 700. One can keep a stop loss below 640. Now coming back to Bank of Baroda, the stock has hit a fresh all-time high today, I think, and the structure is still looking very strong. And the upside target for this particular counter comes around 245 to 250. Stop loss should be placed below 218. And apart from that, Canara Bank is another counter that we are also liking it. And the stock is continuously forming a high top and high bottom formation. Structure looks strong, and the upside is open for 460 from a short-term point of view. One can keep a stop loss below 440.
Right. All right. Apart from this,
Sakshi, two other stocks from the
yes,
Tata
please,
stable
Shail,
have
continue.
joined. Continue.
okay.
Pehle aap.
Right. Nilesh, very quickly, ITI 7.3% higher, 318. What would you do here?
It's a breakout candidate. Look at the volume today. A good volume we have seen, and it looks like higher than our average volume so far in the first half. And the structure looks strong. Upside target for this particular counter looks like it is heading towards 340 to 350 zone, and stop loss should be placed below 300. And remember, it's highly volatile counter, so keep a stick stop loss below 300 for the long position. The target comes around 340 to 350.
Okay. Sakshi, in the long list of Tata Groups outshining the already booming market are two more stocks, Titan as well as Tejas Networks. So it's the entire set of Tata stocks starting from Tata Power to Voltas as far as the FNO space is concerned. Voltas is the top gainer, 4.7% higher. It was very quickly caught up by Nilesh. Then Tata Power is up 2.9%. TCS is up 2.2%. I am talking about Tata Group stocks in the green in the top gainers list on FNO. And then of course you have Tata Chemicals, you have Tata Coffee, you have Tata Consumer. These are all the stocks that are partying. So Starbucks joins Tata Coffee in celebrating a very, very nice up move. And Starbucks is actually a euphemism for Tata Consumer Products, fresh record high 981. Yesterday's volume gave you an hint that more is on way, and that's Tata Consumer Products for you, 981.85. A quick view on this one from you, Nilesh.
So Tata Consumer, as just mentioned, it is looking very strong on the chart. Tata Coffee and Tata Consumer, both the stock are looking very strong on the chart. The upside target for Tata Consumer that comes around 1020. So yes, still has a potential for another 3 to 4% move in this momentum. One can keep a stop loss below 965. And Tata Coffee is another counter that is also looking positive for further upside move to continue towards 300 to 310. Stop loss can be placed below 285.
Okay, two things I need to mention. The price settling on DOM's IPO is 77% higher. It was offered at a price of 700 rupees. It's settled somewhere around 1400. And look at, it was offered at 790. It's settled at 1400. And also India Shelter. This one was offered at it's up at a premium of about 26%. So both IPOs in this roaring bull market settling in the pre-open trade somewhere in the vicinity of 26 to 77%. Sakshi, like I said, it's going to be a trending day, and it's going to be a fabulous close as far as markets are concerned today, because the opening has been fabulous. So that's how it is. What are you watching on your price ticker, Sakshi?
Well, Nilesh, I wanted your view on all the winners of the past. You know, all the stock market shows stocks are coming back. We have CAMS that's inching higher, 2.5% higher. BSE ticking up, 2% higher in trade. Nippon Life India Asset Management is up 7% higher at 480 odd levels as well. Any thoughts on these asset management companies and companies related to stock markets?
So Sakshi, in fact, within this space, within AMC space, HDFC AMC, this particular counter is looking very strong. If you look at the weekly chart, the counter has formed a big rounding bottom, and it is on the verge of a multi-year breakout. And looking at the current structure, I think we can preempt this particular breakout going forward. So one can buy at current level, keeping stop loss below 3050. The upside target for this particular counter comes around 3400. So another 200, 250 point can be seen in HDFC AMC. So that would be our preferred bet within this space, can be bought at current level and can be added on declines.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at how stocks are moving at the moment. Sakshi, I am a bit taken aback by this fantastic listing premium on DOMS, 77% higher. Remember, it wasn't cheaper at 790 rupees. 1400 रुपये आपको मिल रहे हैं, 610 रुपये ऊपर. नीलेश, would you hazard a guess क्या करना चाहिए? 610 रुपये मिल रहे हैं पर शेयर पे. वैसे भी किसी को नहीं मिला होगा, 99 टाइम्स ओवर सब्सक्राइब्ड है, लेकिन हमारा काम है वो क्लिक करना कि भाई हमने पूछ लिया. अब आपको मिला क्या नीलेश भाई?
See, unfortunately, I did not get it. In fact, in my all family members, we tried. But looking at the response, overwhelming response for this particular IPO, we did not get it. I mean, very few people, very few lucky people must have got it. So I would advise, जब ऐसे expensive listing होती है, so usually we have seen a further follow-up move. So keep a trailing stop loss and ride this particular move and keep booking profit at the high levels as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if
ये
Shail got
नीलेश भाई
lucky
की
this time
शराफत है
also or not.
साक्षी
Shail,
जी.
I think you would have got lucky because every time you are the lucky one when it comes to IPOs.
No, you know, I am now being a North Indian completely, Sakshi. It is to Nilesh bhai's credit. He says that इतनी बढ़िया लिस्टिंग हुई है तो इसको थोड़ा ज़रा रखो और तेज़ी होगी. इन्हें भी नहीं मिला तो मेरे को भी नहीं, मैंने तो अप्लाई भी नहीं किया था. लेकिन अगर मुझसे कोई राय पूछी जाती तो आई वुड हैव सेड बुक प्रॉफिट. हमें नहीं मिला तो औरों को क्यों ज़्यादा मिले. सो बट लाइक आई सेड, ड्यू क्रेडिट टू यू. You've said ki hold on, maybe there is more in the party basket for DOMS. 77% uptick on a listing price of 790, which is 1400 rupees, and of course a 26% premium on India Shelter, I think at 612 rupees. We'll keep an eye out on both these stocks for you. But now what is moving? An old favorite, Sakshi. Shriram Finance has come back into momentum after so many days. One of those really quality balance sheets which is still not truly appreciated by the market. This was a pick that Ashish Chaturmota had suggested somewhere like 1800 rupees from then to 2089. Nothing much in terms of price and volume, but the chart is in front of you. Would you hazard a quick guess on this one, Nilesh?
Right, so this particular counter has been in an uptrend and the structure looks strong for another momentum to continue towards 2120 to 2140. So those who are already holding the long position can continue to ride this particular move. Keep a stop loss below 2070 and the structure looks strong.
Okay. Nilesh, your quick view on MCX. That's the one that's moving in the F&O space again. So the commodity stocks coming back in flavor, 4% higher. Would you buy this one?
Right. So, Sakshi, this particular counter has been in an uptrend from past so many weeks now. So, at current level, looks slightly overbought, and the volumes are little dry in this particular counter. So, I would rather wait for some decline to get into this particular counter. Although the upside is still open for 3350 to 3400, the reward is certainly not favorable at current level.
All right. Okay, Nilesh, on that note, thank you so much for being with us and sharing all those views with us on this special edition. And we will continue to watch out for all the stocks that you had mentioned as well. Of course, State Bank of India remains your topic from the PSU banking space that we will continue to keep an eye out on too. But getting back into the markets, it's a very, very exciting space. You talk about IT, you talk about FMCG, talk about banks, metals, broader markets, oil and gas, everything is moving in trade today. Of course, let me mark a few stocks right now. F&O space, Voltas is the top gainer, 5.3% higher in trade. Deepak Nitrite follows, 4% higher in trade. MCX we just discussed. Tata Power, of course, a stellar run up, 3.3% higher, record levels. BHEL is the one that's moving up now, 2.5% higher. LTI Mindtree, Birla Soft, L&T Technologies, the three big movers from the mid-cap IT space, also continue to move up in full throttle as well. Michelle, what else comes up on your screen?
Sakshi, for the moment, two stocks. Again, I'd like to take a detour to the 345 option trade on Tata Power that Nilesh had suggested. That seems to be doing well. So far, the price on that one is just a moment. We caught it at about 850. Let's see what the price is. Yes, it's 1060. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you sort of trap the option momentum in front of you. Look at the first 5 minutes of volume. Look at where the price and the volume have both exploded, and that happened at 916, 917. Let me just check what time that Sakshi had marked Tata Power. I think at that point of time it was at 340 or something. So that's how we mark it, and then of course we take the in the money option for that one. Voltas, of course, again at a 2-year high, 948. What else is clicking? And it's the metal space, and it's NMDC. NMDC for you, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a breakout. Very quickly to you, Nilesh bhai, NMDC.
Nilesh has left Shell, and so we will discuss this later. Yeah. But a lot of other stocks also moving up, like you were mentioning. It's the auto stocks, and back in the move is Eicher Motors again, 1.5% higher. One of the stocks that you continue to track.
Yeah, Sakshi, yes. See, the thing is that look at Eicher from the point of view of how it has moved on a monthly basis. Eicher Motors is up 1.2% of course today, but if you look at the December series, it's up 4.5%. Sakshi, this is a clear catch-up trade. See, I'll tell you why. Eicher Motors is up 4.6% during the month of December F&O. Bajaj Auto is up 5.1%, so it's a catch-up, and TVS Motors is up 6.9%. So mostly these stocks move in sync. You have a record high on Bajaj Auto, you have a record high on Eicher, you have a record high on TVS Motors. So it's a catch-up trade. Kaun kisse kitna aage nikal gaya, and you keep on looking back and saying ki, arey, this guy is following me, this guy is following me, and the guy behind says, ye mere se itna aage hai, let me move ahead. At the moment, we are in a trending market where momentum is what is moving forward, and that's what needs to be tracked. Look at Tejas Networks. I had marked it at about 838. Again, this is a Tata Group company at 852. This one should also move substantially in the coming days because the chart parameters are really good. The stock was a market darling some time ago, then it went into hibernation and it started moving all over again. The most recent high was 935 and we have it at 851 today. So these are the stocks, ladies and gentlemen, that Sakshi and I are looking at, and this is how it moves. Sakshi.
Right, let me just wind up the market for this session and then we will quickly go on to the action on the primary market space straight from the NSE as well. The Nifty right now, record levels, 21,573 being seen. 593 was the record high level on an intraday basis that was hit today. It's still trading 0.5% higher in trade. When we talk about the IT stocks, it's LTI Mindtree, 2.5% higher, the top mover on the Nifty. Wipro follows next. It's 2% higher in trade. TCS, Infosys, these are the other big movers. Apart from it, Tata Consumer Products, 2% higher. Eicher Motors ticking higher, 1.8%. Britannia Industries, 1.5% higher. Hero Moto also coming up, and Bajaj Finserv, that's picking up pace as well in trade today. Hero Moto Corp. So it's the IT pack. Consumer durables, it's the Tata stocks, it's the auto space and the FMCG space, all of them as the top moving basket as far as the Nifty is concerned. And of course, Reliance Industries, that's now ticking higher by 1% at 2582 odd levels as well. Continue to watch out for this one. Even HDFC Bank, the laggard, is now picking up some pace, 0.7% higher in trade at a 1664 odd level. Sectorally, it's the Nifty IT index that's moving up sharply, 1.5% higher in trade. Consumer durables follows, FMCG, oil and gas. The broader markets is a small cap 100 and mid cap 100 index, both of them up by about 0.8% in trade as well. All the sectors of the Nifty are up into the green. Nifty 500 basket, again you have ITI, GMM Pfaudler, Deepak Nitrite, Equitas Small Finance Bank, Archean Chemicals, Adani Energy, Alok Industries, AU Small Finance Bank, Concord as the top 5-6 gainers as far as the Nifty 500 basket is concerned. Voltas, the top mover on the F&O space, Deepak Nitrite follows, MCX and also Tata Power as among the top movers in trade right now. Let's look at, now let's shift focus to the listing of both DOMS and India Shelter as of now. Remember, DOMS is a stock that got its IPO at 790 rupees and the listing is happening right there on the NSE, and you can clearly see that there are some, okay, so I'll just wait for the stock. It's 10 a.m. and they are going to be ringing the bell right now. On your screens, you can see the action on DOMS Industries, and we will also wait for listing to happen at on India Shelter Finance as well at this point in time. Just waiting for the prices to flush on top of the IPO price of 790. What is the kind of premium that DOMS Industries now commands? All right, we will wait for that one. All right, India Shelter Finance, 578. You can see a 17.3% uptick for this one as well. A very, very strong move, 85 rupees off a premium. For DOMS, it's a 76% upside, just like how we were predicting. 600 rupees off a premium is what it has listed with. 1390 currently on screens on DOMS, ladies and gentlemen, for you. A bumper listing for DOMS. 76% higher right now. Congratulations to all the IPO allottees. It's a big, big move coming in on DOMS Industries, higher than what was being predicted just a while back in the grey market premium as well. A very strong momentum coming in. But just like how we were discussing, 77% premium is what we were hoping that it will really see in today's trade. India Shelter Finance, let's throw that one as well. 13-14% of an upside is what investors have got even on that one as well, and 85 rupees of an upside. So bumper listing for both of them. DOMS Industries clearly the big winner right here, 75% upside clearly. You can see some profits being already booked at this point in time. It's slipping away from 1390 to now below 1380 odd levels. So that's the new listing for you. A very, very strong premium listing for both these new IPOs as well. All right, and with that, we will wrap up this very, very special conversation and discussion with our guests. And do stay tuned with us on Business Today Television to catch all the action from the world of stock markets, even going forward from here through the entire trading session.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Southern Tamil Nadu is reeling under rain fury. Torrential rainfall in many parts of the state have led to massive waterlogging. A house in Tirunelveli collapsed after days of continuous rainstorm.